This is the second video of 3 videos about pronouns, and we're going to look at the form of pronouns. With many pronouns we can distinguish 4 dimensions: person, number, sometimes gender and case. If we start with person, we find 3 persons: first, second and third. Now, first person is about the most important person in your life, so it's I, me, we, us. Second person is the addressee, so it's you. Third person is the rest: he, him, she, her, they, them. Number is the second dimension. We've only got 2. We've got singular and plural. Singular means one, plural more than one. Why do we need these notions of person and number? Well, they are important for the grammar. So if we take a sentence like "we wants it," it's ungrammatical. And in order to explain why it's ungrammatical, we need to talk about person and number. Because the "we," that's the pronoun, it's first person and it's plural. But wants is a third person singular form of to want. And we find that they don't go together because the subject and the verb have to agree in person and number. And here they don't, so the sentence is ungrammatical. So Gollum get agreement wrong is wrong because Gollum is third person singular, and get, the form of the verb get, which doesn't have an S, is not third person singular. So to make that sentence right, you have to say Gollum gets agreement wrong, and so then you have the third person singular form of get, gets. A further dimension that you find with some pronouns is gender. And you've got 2 genders, masculine, in English at least, masculine and feminine. So it's he and him is masculine, she and her is feminine. So let's try some sentences. He phoned us yesterday. Well, we've got 2 pronouns here, he and us. Now he, what can you say about it? Well, what's the number? Well, what's the person? Let's start there. So that's third person, because it's not you and it's not I. There's only one of them, so it's singular and it's masculine. So he is third person singular masculine. And then we've got us. Us is, of course, includes me, so it's first person, but there's more than one, so it's plural, and you can't tell the gender here, so it's only first person plural. I don't know her. There are again 2 pronouns. You've got I and you've got her. I is first person singular, and again you can't tell the gender. Her is third person singular, and that's feminine. And in the third sentence you've got you and him. Now you, all you can tell about you is that it's second person. You can't say whether it's singular or plural, because in English you has it's the same word for singular and plural, and also you can't tell what gender it is. Him, of course, is again third person singular and masculine. Now what we find here is he is third person singular masculine, and him is also third person singular masculine. But they are different. So what's different between them, about them? This is where we bring in this notion of case. So although they pick out, they refer to the same sort of individual, third person singular masculine individual, we find that where he and him go in a sentence is different. So you can't say him was nasty to she, or me caught they. That's wrong. You have to say he was nasty to her, I caught them. And these forms, what we say here is that the personal pronouns have different case forms, and you can't swap the different case forms around. So what are case? Well, case shows the grammatical function that the pronoun has in a sentence. You remember in the previous video we talked about subject, direct object, object of a preposition. Those are the grammatical functions, and this is where case comes in. So what are the different cases? Well, the ones that we're concerned with in terms for the pronouns are nominative case and accusative case. And nominative case is the form used when a pronoun is used in subject position in a sentence. Yeah, so she was nasty to John. She is the subject, and she is the nominative form of that third person singular feminine pronoun. Accusative case is used when a pronoun is used in object position in a sentence, so both following a verb and following a preposition. Yeah, so for example, the police officers called her and talked to her. Yeah, so again we've got third person singular feminine, but now we're using the accusative form, which is her, whereas before when we had the subject we used the nominative form she. Okay, let's have a try and see if we can use these notions of person, number, case and gender. So if you say I likes it here, have a think about what I is. Is it the wrong person, number, of case? Yeah, so I likes it. Who likes it here? I. So it's in subject position, and I is in fact the nominative form of the pronoun. Yeah, me is the accusative form. So case is okay in this sentence. Now I is first person and it's singular. Okay, what about likes? Well, likes has that S, yeah, and the S indicates that it's singular, but it is the third person. Yeah. So what's wrong with this sentence is the person. Yeah, I is first person, likes is third person. Let's try another one. In I gave it to he, what's wrong? Person, number or case? Yeah. Now, following a preposition, yeah, it doesn't matter which person you have. Yeah, so you could say I gave it to me, first person. I gave it to you, second person. So I gave it to he. You could say I gave it to John. That's also John is third person. Yes, part of the rest. Yeah. So the person is okay. Does it matter whether it's singular or plural? I gave it to me. I gave it to us. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whether it's singular or plural. So is it case? Well, you could say he gave it to someone. Yeah. So he goes, the form he is the nominative form and it goes in subject position, but here we've got a preposition and he follows the preposition, and in that object of the preposition position it should be him. I gave it to him. So we can conclude here that he is the wrong case. Okay, well, let's try one more. Yeah. They goes there all the time. What's wrong with they? Is it person, number of case? Well, the nominative form of this is, well, let's start by saying what is it? It's third person, they, yeah. Singular or plural? Well, it's plural, so the number is plural. And the case where you've got they and them, yeah, and they go there all the time is fine. So they is the nominative form. Yeah, and them would be the accusative form, so the form following a verb or a preposition. So the case is fine. So it's either person or number. Well, then we have to look at the verb, and we've got goes, and goes here has that S again, and that indicates that it's third person singular. Yeah. So what we've got is they is third person plural, goes is third person singular. Yeah? So what we find then is that it's wrong in terms of number. So I hope you got that. And this is the end of the second video on pronouns.